Officially, good morning. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Monday Market Kickoff. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. As always, please keep in mind that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be considered or construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. Any investment decision is taken at your own risk. Okay, what are we going to do today? Opening futures and news. As Stephen D said, futures look promising after a negative day on Friday, interpreting the news poorly. It's nice to see. We're not going to call it a rebound yet. Stabilization for the time being, what we'll call it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Stabilization. Okay. We're going to review the economic calendar. We'll look at our posture. We dropped a point. That's concerning. We dropped out of the fives. We went from a 5.5 to a 4.5. So we definitely have a little bit more suspicion about this market, I would say. A little bit more suspicion. Okay. Headwinds, Steve C. I like it. Mindset for open trades. If you're carrying bullish trades that you held on to, hopefully this gets a little back. If you're carrying a hedge or a bearish trade, this is going to put you in a little bit of a decision-making point. So, yeah. If you have one specifically that you would like to take a peek at as a group, let me know. We'll do it. We'll watch the opening range. We'll talk about our opportunity list. I have note cards, and I was like, oh, we probably won't have that many, so I don't need to save room. I had to flip it to the back. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 18, 26. 26. Yeah, 26 stocks on the opportunity list tells me that it's still a pretty tradable bullish environment. So yeah, let's take a look. Trading plan section of the week. We're already to section 5. Section 5. This is our third pass. But yeah, on section 5, we're working on routines. Should be a pretty easy one for you to get strong. So there you go. Okay. All right, let's get started. That's what it looked like on Friday. You can see already 625.5 is where we look like we're set to open. That's back, not all the way above yesterday, or Friday's high, but it's close. Friday's high was 626. We're at 625, so we're right in this area here looking for some recovery. Okay. Great. Let's go see what the VIX is projecting for us on the open. Okay, so an inside day, which an inside day does not mean it's definitely dropping, but it definitely means we have some stability, some stabilization there. So yeah, love it. It's enough for us to think, okay, here's what we have. Now, by way of news this week, let's just get this talked about. Well, let's go look at the discussions. The U.S. says rare earth talks halfway there. That doesn't sound all that promising, in my opinion. But it's good to see progress. Fed to name new Fed governor. Jobs data ahead in coming days. So already you can see here as traders eye Fed cuts. But the problem with Fed cuts, let me reload this. The next FOMC meeting is in 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. That's not true. The next one is on September the 17th. And now look at the probabilities. Right? And now look at the probabilities. So why do they continue to show photos? I did not notice that. That is a great question. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't have a good answer for you on that. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Okay. Okay. And then when we look at October, 67% chance. Oh, I think it's pretty likely. Would we say for sure? No. Would we say? I mean, you see it. It's at 87%. So, yeah, I would say that it's pretty much a done deal. And then the question is, do we get a second one in a row? Which I think at this point, now that it's a need to, we've been talking about want to, need to. Can we, should we? And we've moved from the can we and we want to because inflation got down to need to because employment weakness. And when it's a need to, they're not going to hit it and wait a little. They're going to hit it and then hit it. So, yeah, okay. That's my thought. Let me know if you agree or disagree. From a news standpoint, this week is light except for earnings. Earnings is heavy. There's going to be quite a bit of earnings expectations. So, yeah. Okay. Market opened. What else do we have? Nothing today. Tomorrow, trade deficit numbers expected to come out. Thursday, we have nothing on Friday or Wednesday. Just some Fed speak, which, again, what are we likely to see? We're likely to see increased discussions of rate cuts and what the expectation going forward the rest of the year is likely to be. I think September, October, then they'll let it go, see what happens the rest of the year, be ready to continue come January. Okay. Thursday. Nothing. Just jobless claims. Not much else. It looks like it could be, but it's not. Friday, nothing scheduled. So, yeah, there you go. Let's go take a peek at how things are starting off. So, if you missed it yesterday, our long-term score did not change. We popped into this area here. It could pull all the way back to this red line and bounce. And then I'd be like, yep, red line's good. These red trend lines are a 1.25. That's where I am. That's where I expect to be for the next several weeks. Okay. Short-term score also stayed the same. You can see our short-term score has been the same for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks straight. So we go down and we look at, is that right? Does that sound right? And you can say, yeah, look, this is. Let me get some drawing tools here. I'm going to draw straight lines to really be accurate. So let's go like this and like this. We've actually been in this trend for more like 2 full months. We've been scoring it this way for about 6 weeks. And the bounce that we're seeing now exactly matches what our trend is. So I feel comfortable with that. Volume, however, dropped because we have a few ties and a sell. And you might be thinking, so that's negative. Nope, it's neutral. If it's just a little lean towards the sellers, that's expectation. That's what's expected. So in that regard, it's a 0. Yeah, so my score did drop, though, to a 0. So that's our first. You can see here over the last couple weeks, volume is where we've lost some ground, and that's something that we've been talking about as being somewhat expected. And so, yeah. Okay. Stop me if you have any concerns. Major market also dropped by a little bit. This one was not because it got weaker. This one was because I scored, well, it just sort of lost. It didn't get weaker. It just lost the hints of strength that caused it to pop from a 0.5 to a 0.75, 0.75 right back down. Sector rotation, definitely some weakness. Definitely, right, we see technology and industrials really trying to hang on. If they can't, it's going to drop to a neutral score. The VIX dropped by 0.25 point. Still overall pretty bullish. Let's go back there. Still overall pretty bullish. Very good observation. Stephen D said it's due to small caps, which is interesting because even now it's like, well, are they starting to recover? Not necessarily yet. Not necessarily yet. Okay. All right, let's keep looking. So what's going on here? Well, we got to get back. We took out these old highs, which is what caused us to drop it 0.25 point, but we haven't even gotten past these. We're if high is low 20s, it's not that bad. So if this is the high, now what's our concern? Are we concerned? Of course we are. Anytime we see a spike up, our concern is that it pulls back, does this, and turns again. That's a low, and that's a higher low. That higher low is a direct hedge trigger for me. Do not stop Do not do anything else but look to put the hedge on. So that's concerning. Now, if it just recovers from here, like that, it would be quite bullish. So we don't look at this and think, oh, that's it. Everything looks bad. We think, ooh, there's been an increase in volatility. That's concerning for us. Now we have to be ready to see what happens next. Okay, questions about any of that? How do your trades look this morning if you're in them? Let's go through the watch list. It's a quiet group today. AAP was on the list, still kind of looking for that setup right there, right? On the short list as well. Apple doesn't look great. It's not on my list, but I would love to see it recover. Amazon doesn't look great. Would love to see it recover. APH, well, goodness. We were thinking about APH. My thought being if it comes down here and turns, but when it pops like this into a red candle, that's tough. That's a tough one. You can even see on your stochastics how it's kind of in this bit of a grind. Yeah, let's just watch. I thought that one had some prospects. AAP still does. We'll see. ASTS, that was on my list. It's holding this support level. We don't have a lot of time. 811 aftermarket. That's a week from today. If I get a signal today or tomorrow, still time, though I wouldn't expect much more than a retest up here. Still 10 points. Still 10 points. 8 points. AXP is not on my list. It's a lower low. BAC, not on my list. It's lost a good amount of momentum. Beyond, and Kami's not here today, but both of us made the same mistake thinking this was Beyond Meat. It's not. This is the remnant of Bed Bath & Beyond. And somehow merged with Overstock? Is that, I don't know, something along those lines. But yeah, this looks like it could be just a little bit of momentum away. We'll see. This one's got, it's a higher flyer, so it's got more vol in it. Make sure that meets your needs. Citi. Ooh, look at Citi. There's that long recovery candle. Now it looks like it's stabilizing. We got to see, but I would say viable. Caterpillar's strong, but it's got earnings tomorrow before market. So it's basically today. CCJ. Ooh. This looks enticing to me. You can see it's looks like it wants to turn. It's a higher low. Stochastics pinching. CLS looks a little interesting. It's a high flyer coming out of its earnings, and it's got some nice looking setup. Possibly looking for a turn out of this flag type pullback. CNM still looks good. So the C's have some good strength for us. Beyond in the C's. This looks great. Today, does it look great today? No. It looks like it's just kind of holding up. It's a higher low, looking for that thing to try to turn. Capital One, no. Coinbase, no. Coupang. Oh, Coupang, you just took too long. We can't trade you for a day. So inconsiderate. Cisco just continuing its sideways grind. DoorDash pushing higher but close to earnings. Diamonds trying to bounce. EA trying to bounce. Some chop there. Expedia. Ooh, Expedia. Earnings are Thursday after market. Okay, you could maybe play with this a little bit and see if it catches a little recovery up here to 190, 192. It's a pre-earnings trade. If you took a trade like that, you're absolutely looking to exit at earnings. You do not. That's not the trade. If you carry through, that you're taking a whole different trade of what we normally speak of. So just keep that in mind. Do people sometimes hold earnings? Sure they do. Sure they do. I don't think consistently. Futu. Ooh, Futu Holdings. Okay. Time before earnings. It's a high flyer. Now, the one thing we wouldn't want this to do. Whoop, 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 whoop. If this went up and it started to fail, head and shoulders, be careful about that. It's a high flyer. But for now, there's nothing that says it doesn't look like it might not. Even if it just comes back up to 170, that's 23 points. Stop loss down here at 139. 7 to make 23. There you go. 3-1. GE we thought might pull back, but not yet. GE Vernova, not yet. Gold, not yet. Google. Oh, look at Google. A little bit of a pullback, maybe turning. Stochastics is not quite where we would want it necessarily. Goldman Sachs, one of the leaders in what's left for financials. That looks enticing. Hasbro, nothing there. Robinhood, maybe. Howmet, I put it on the list, but I'm like, even now, just a little iffy with it. IBM, nothing for us. IVZ, maybe. It's a high flyer. It's a high flyer. IWM. Oh, look at Joby right before earnings. We're like, we don't have time before earnings. Levi's. Love. No. Las Vegas Sands. That's a maybe. That's a definite maybe. Meta. Waiting. Morgan Stanley. I like Goldman better. Microsoft. Micron. Netflix. No. Nvidia. Looking for a good recovery there. That's a possibility. Pagaya? Maybe. Who held their PLTR one more day? They were like, it's earnings come out today. Someone's like, what should I do tomorrow? Hope for it to pop up. Well, there you go. There you go. QQQ. It's nice to see technology stabilizing quickly. QuantumScape. Oh, there's another high flyer. If your risk tolerance is feeling okay, there's another one stabilizing maybe. Reddit. Oh gosh, look at Reddit. Just blast off. Rocket Lab. Still time. Everything else is moving okay. I think makes sense to hold a little longer still. RTX. I'm telling you, look how much strong stuff we have. There's no problems here. There's no problems. Okay, let's see. Silver making a bit of a recovery. Ooh, here's one I was looking at. 10-cent music. And you might be thinking, on a red candle? Doesn't matter, it's a bounce candle. Time before earnings. That's an interesting one. I could see an alert coming out today. TSM. The NVIDIA was real interesting on that little, there's some of these that are still kind of like, well, is this anticipatory? Yes. And you might think, can I take an anticipatory if our market score dropped by 1? It did drop, which makes me more cautious, but it is still 4.5. I say it's on the fence for me. Let me ask this. Based on market posture, would you take an anticipatory trade right now? Or do you want more confirmation? That's today's question of the day. LJ goes quick, said, no, I need to have more confirmation. Lee said, yes, I would. Stephen C said, confirmation. Stephen D said, tech is still very strong. Is that a yes? Is that a Y or an N? Yes. Okay. It's a fair response from everybody. Yeah, we have tradable things. If you held things, you're probably doing okay. If you hedged, you're glad you took some profits on Friday, probably. Now you're looking at this like, what do I need to do with this? Because, that's what happens hedging in a bull market is you have to make some tough decisions with the rest of the hedge. Tesla's in a great big triangle consolidation pattern, I think. Bring this down. Bring this up. Yeah. There's no trend here. There's nothing to trade, nothing to speak of. Just kind of watching, waiting, seeing. Lost my mouse. Where are you? There you go. Taiwan Semiconductors still looks valid for a setup. So the semiconductors still look real nice. Uber's a no. Visa's a no. VRT, interesting. Still on a pullback, I'd say. I would still be waiting, holding on that. I saw that Stephen D said he got a 30 billion share. $30 billion stock payout. It does necessitate selling those shares, paying those capital gains, but yeah, it's a payout. hefty payday. Walmart. Oh, Walmart's trying to really test this upper level here. It's not a breakout yet because it got to the same level here, got to the same level here, got to the same level here, got to the same level here. We'll see. Last one is Win. Win is still kind of flat. Okay. Let's go look at trading plan. SoFi, it must be. Let's go take a look, Bill, if it should still be here. Now, sometimes I kick them off, and then people are like, what happened to this? And we pull it up, and I'm like, ooh, gosh, I don't know. I apparently kicked it off too early. Okay. Some choppiness at the top. New high, pulled back, pulled back. I'll put it on the list. It's worth keeping an eye on. You trading it? How does the morning look for everybody? Okay, because you what you carried was mostly bullish stuff, possibly just a hedge. How does the morning look? How are we transitioning from our market posture to our trading posture? Here's another question. Are you willing to take a bullish trade today if a signal came, or are you just sort of holding off because of your posture? in. This is my last question of the day. Would you be willing to put a new bullish trade on today? Yes or no? No. Not necessarily on SoFi, in anything. So Lee said yes. Bill said I'm bullish. Yes, I would. I love it. That's got to be the answer for me too. Yes, I'm bullish. 4.5. Has it regressed a little? Sure. Breathe in, breathe out. You can't just go breathing in all the time. Try it. Doesn't work. Steve C. Wood, Melody Wood, Chris Hepner Wood. All is good except for Uber. Yes for a bullish trade. Yeah, okay. Hedge is hurting a little, but still some concern, right? I mean, the VIX, let's go look at that VIX real quick one more time. We'll go look at the opening range. VIX is coming back down for sure. But the higher low is just, it's loaded up. We're looking pretty bullish today. Good follow through. We're up over 1% now. So we opened higher and then we moved. What have we not done yet? That's the level we really are kind of looking to get to here. Can we get back to that 631, or is it going to just come back and work around a little bit? Yeah, we can't get too excited 22 minutes in. It's a long day. 6.5 hours can be very long for a day. Okay. Let's go take a look at the trading plan section this week. We're looking for this to be at least an 8 on a scale from 1 to 10, which means you have defined, to get to an 8, you need to have all your daily routines marked for time, when, how long, list of activities, prioritized. 1, 2, 3, 4. My morning routine starts at 6:45 a.m. Mine tends to last 15 to 20 minutes. I've got a list of things that I look at. You guys see a lot of it. Going to look at the futures. Going to look at the news. Going to look at the economic calendar. Reviewing my positions to see where they're set to open. Checking where my automatic orders are, if any, and if I need to move them or whatever. Looking at my watch list to see the potential setups that I'm watching for today, so that I can say, ooh, what are the ones? I'm not going to just sit and stare at my whole watch list. I've got 7 or 8 that are most likely to be the ones that are tradable. That's the ones I'm going to focus on. I'm always going to start with skin in the game. Where do I have trades on? Then I'm going to think about opportunities. I'm going to have all 3. I have 3 before, during, after. I'm going to have my weekend. If you have that, you're an 8. If you need to refine your routines a little, that's okay. If you need to add monthly, quarterly, annual, where you start to be like, when do I review my trading plan? When do I do some analytical stuff? When do I, work on some goals? When do I think about taxes? Yeah, that'll come. Let's just get that most important part. The execution routines are the ones we need. So if you get daily and weekly, mostly defined, you can give it an 8. That's what we're working on this week. Can you imagine? Look at that. We're already almost done with another loop. So I hope everyone's trading plans are looking strong. We've got a few minutes for questions, comments, or concerns. The floor is yours. If there's a question about the trading plan, a question about the posture, a question about a certain trade, question about a potential trade, let me know. You guys are quiet on Monday morning. I get it. Yeah, we're all feeling pretty good. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not what we wanted. We were having some really strong momentum for a bit there that we were just sort of riding, and it felt great. And now we're like, okay, great. Now what? Now it gets a little tougher. We have to be A little bit more on the ball. BAC. There's BAC on the 5-day, 5-minute. So BAC for me does look like it's trying to find some support, especially right here around the 50. Especially at this old, you can see here's the old resistance, the old highs. Now new low, new low. It doesn't have a lot of trend. It has levels for me right now. Levels. Certainly this level could look for a pop back up here, but my thought would be, you know what? I'd rather get into something that looks stronger. Like Goldman. Goldman's still making those highs, those new highs. That's just me. Oh, look at Futu. Futu Holdings. Yeah. It's looking kind of fun. Looking enticing. 12 to 1. That's likely the hour that the trade alert would come. 12 to 1 Mountain Time. 2 to 3 Eastern Time. Uber, bought into it. Hold for August 15th. Let's go see. Uber took a little bit of a dip, but trying to stabilize here. At this point, for me, what makes Uber tough is it looks like it's in this consolidation. Earnings on Uber are Tuesday. Nope, Wednesday before market. So you only have one more day before the earnings. So the question is, do you hold through earnings? Now, if it's a short-term option, be careful because it's basically just a crapshoot at that point. If it's good and moves higher, you'll be fine. If it drops, you'll lose everything because the volatility is going to drop out. It'll be everything. So, yeah. Okay, well, great. It's good to see everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. We will be here. I want to search tonight. What am I going to search tonight? I'm going to search utilities to see if there's a good utility stock we want, and consumer staples, non-discretionary, which means what? Which means which means things that if this market continues to sputter, should be the things that we see do better. So come have some questions, have some trades to talk about. We'll run some searches. We'll boost up the watch list a little with some potential short-term considerations if the market stays in this little bit choppier level. All right. It's good to see everyone. Thanks as always. Have a great rest of your day. Happy trading.